Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. As a holder of XRP for over half a decade now, I've seen XRP way down. I've bought XRP as low as 15 cents. I've also seen it way higher. And I purchased it as high as roughly $2.50 as it was climbing up to its all-time high in January 4th of 2018 when it hit close to $4. And I didn't purchase much of it. And in fact, to be honest with you, and I was brand new to crypto at that point. But I was skeptical of this crypto bubble, and I acknowledged it was in bubble territory back then. I just didn't know how big the bubble was going to inflate. So I knew it pretty strongly felt like it wasn't going to go, up forever. I knew it wasn't going to go up forever. But I wasn't sure how big it was going to inflate, so I was like, well, I guess I'm kind of late to crypto, so, in case it's really going to blast off, I'm not going to put in a ton, and it was hard to get money in back then anyway. But I was like, well, I'm not going to put in a ton because, A, I'm still researching this, B, I'm not confident that, we're not towards the upper end of this, so it's just a just in case. So even though I don't think it's probable we're going to see way higher prices at this juncture in time, just in the off chance my suspicions are wrong, which could have been the case. So I just put in a little bit, and that's the highest I ever purchased. It was around there, but my average buying price for XRP ended up being 25 cents. But all that being said, I'm going to reiterate the point in this video. Like, this is how it's been going for XRP's entire existence. And so for those of you who took advantage of the crypto collapse in November, purchasing whether it's XRP or Bitcoin or mid cap or small cap coins, how are you feeling today? Because I'll tell you what, I'm feeling pretty damn good, and I'm going to highlight almost everything is up. And XRP's up too. It is. If you look at, from where that drop happened in November with the FTX Ponzi collapsing. Now, XRP admittedly isn't up, which, not that I'm thrilled about that. XRP's my favorite crypto. It's my largest cryptocurrency holding and will continue to be for the foreseeable future. And it's my largest holding by a long shot, by the way. But, it is still up. And I'd say if you're concerned about, certain coins outperforming XRP over the last several months, I say zoom out. And then on top of that, don't forget the fact that when the crypto markets really get going, historically XRP has always lagged behind. This is a known factor. So when XRP continues to behave like XRP has always behaved, I'm kind of like, okay. You do you, XRP. It's fine. This is just what we've seen. But before sharing additional thoughts, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 39 cents, Bitcoin at $24,531, market cap for the asset class 1.14 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 41.51%. So market's been teasing us a little bit today. Bitcoin as high as $25,188 and as low as $23,959. So, crypto be volatile. Again, when crypto continues to behave like it's led you to believe it will behave for over a decade, maybe don't have emotions that are scare when it continues to do what data should tell you should expect it to continue to do. That's all I'm saying. XRP was as low as 38 cents and as high as 40 cents within the last 24 hours. But I wanted to highlight some stuff here. So it's just so interesting endlessly to see how closely the asset class moves in tandem. So here's this is a 12-month chart for XRP. Now I'm going to flip back and forth a bunch of times, one after another. Here's a 12-month chart for Bitcoin. So here it is for XRP. Here it is for Bitcoin. Here it is for XRP. Here it is for Bitcoin. Here it is for XRP. Here it is for Bitcoin. Looks very similar, doesn't it? In fact, there's one part that's particularly different, but it's for a really good reason because there's actually some really cool stuff happening with XRP. This area where I'm circling here, where you see where XRP just started jumping up in price from these lows when it was at, 32 cents or so, call it roughly that. And that would have been, mid-September. Well, what started happening, getting into the end of September and into October and November? All this incredibly positive news and developments having to do with the SEC v. Ripple case. So people are looking at this and, placing their bets. Like, I think this is probably good for XRP. That's clearly what a ton of people are doing. You had the filing of the motions for summary judgment from the SEC and Ripple. You're approaching the end here, and people are placing their bets. Are like, the SEC is wrong, and like, even if this is bad for Ripple, it's probably going to be good for XRP holders. Doesn't mean there's no risk, but people have placed their bets accordingly. And so, yes, fine, you did see XRP move back to the downside in November, just like Bitcoin did, and every other coin on the planet, when Sam Bankman-Fried, that cucumber-loving son of a bitch, when he was found to be an outright fraud and FTX collapsed as a Ponzi scheme, yeah, everything went down. And it is nice to see that XRP has come up a bit off that. We've been seeing it as high as what was it recently? Did it get to 41, 42 cents? I can't recall off the top of my head now. But the point being that it has recovered compared to the November lows. But again, the fact that it hasn't as quickly as some other coins which have taken off more, I'm just like, XRP's being XRP. And that's also why it's good to not be a maximalist, even though XRP continues to be my largest holding by a lot and my favorite cryptocurrency. It's good to not be a maximalist of any coin, period. I've got broad exposure. I hold close to 30 different cryptocurrencies. And so there's this article here, Filecoin up 76%, XRP and Cardano parallels, drawn by Andrew Kang. And I don't feel the need to read the article rather, but I just kind of want to make a broader point. This is why it's good, although I know that I'm preaching to the choir. We all love XRP here. This is an XRP-centric channel. It's good to diversify. And also, to keep your head straight here, I just want to share some personal thoughts here, and this ain't my first rodeo, it's not. So when we saw the major capitulation of it in November with that cucumber-loving son of a bitch, Sam Bankman-Fried, as prices went down, fine. Like, I was harmed, you were harmed if you're in crypto, and I'm sure you're in crypto if you're listening to me. So we were all harmed, and the people that got harmed the most, obviously, are those, and I say me and you, like, I wasn't on FTX or FTX US, but I say that because my net worth went down substantially, and I'm sure yours took a hit too. Now, of course, obviously, admittedly, of course, it was worse for the people that had their crypto on there, and then, they didn't know that the exchanges were insolvent. Okay, so obviously, admittedly, worse there, but everybody was hit here. So even though I was hit, I still got excited. My net worth's way, way, way lower. But even though it was way, way, way lower, I got excited and I made some larger purchases and I shared what I was doing in the moment. And I share with you also that I don't know if this is the bottom. I don't know if we're going to see a further capitulation at it. If we don't, maybe we're not, then okay, whatever. Maybe we really did just see the worst. I'll take that if so. But I was saying what I just firmly believe to be the case anyway. Like, even if I buy stuff here, and I was buying stuff there, even if it goes lower, I don't care. I don't beat myself up for not being able to purchase the bottom. And this is a perfect illustration of this because I did the same thing with XRP. I've been through this. So like I said, the highest I purchased XRP was around $2.50, something like that. But then I didn't purchase for, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at charts, but probably like half a year or so. There's probably something like that because I was waiting for the market to tank. I was like, okay, so the bubble's deflating. Awesome. Let's do. So I figured at some point I'd start dollar cost averaging in, and I believe it was at 55 cents I started dollar cost averaging in, and that was on a set schedule. And it's been so long now, it might have been weekly or every other week. I don't recall off the top of my head, to be honest. But the point is, it would go down, so I'd buy 55 cents and 50 cents and 45 and then 40 cents, just getting broad exposure. And then for the longest damn time, if you've been around a while, you know that XRP was hanging out for a long time in the 20-something cent region, which is where I ended up doing most of my accumulation over the years. So I was down on XRP for most of the first few years that I was in it. But because I started dollar cost averaging in, I don't beat myself up for buying at $2.50 or 55 cents or 50 cents or 45 cents all the way down. And I did get exposure at 15 cents also. So yay, that's awesome. Averaged out to me about 25 cents. But again, my point in saying this is as I was buying, as the price went lower, I didn't worry about it because I knew that that wasn't an indication of whether or not there would be a new all-time high. All of the price action that happens in between is not an indication of whether or not I would be right about whether or not there would be a new all-time high. Either I'm right or I'm not. And to me, it's binary. So fine. If I'm wrong, it goes to zero. I lose everything. Fine. I'll ride this bitch to zero. Cool. Well, maybe cool's the wrong word. But you know what I'm saying, though. But on the flip side, if I'm right, and I firmly believe that I am, and we'll see, we will hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. So I didn't worry about the short-term stuff. So, and this is true of anything that one would purchase. I think, like, to have this type of mentality. So I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. I'm saying if you are participating in this space, get your head right. Make sure your head is right, because you're not going to be able to buy the bottom. And so while I am thrilled that I was able to make the purchases that I made, in November, I wasn't going to buy more unless there was another capitulation style news event that pushed things dramatically lower. And then I had a bunch of capital set aside for that, and that didn't come. So I didn't get that, but I did get one major capitulation event, and I made some of the largest crypto purchases in my entire life, and I'm thankful for that. So I wanted to point out here, so one of them happened to be HBAR, and I'm just using this as an example. I treated it the same way, in terms of how I was mentally preparing myself, same way as I treated my purchasing of XRP back in 2018. And so when HBAR went from what called about 6.3 cents quickly down to a little below 5 cents, 4.8. I remember I bought it as low as 4.4 cents. That's the lowest I ever was able to purchase it. And I was like, well, I mean, the odds I purchased the bottom are pretty low, because almost 0% of humans did that. And I was right. And what did we see? We saw, well, you can see here, January 1st, before crypto really started heating up, what's happened. It's been very positive this year. HBAR got as low as 3.6 cents. Was I beating myself up because I put a ton of money in at 4.4 cents and it went to 3.6 cents? No. And in fact, within the last 24 hours, I mean, you can see what the chart did. It's within the last 24 hours, it's been up to 9.2. I've more than 9.2 cents. I've more than doubled my money. And did I have any sort of scare feels in here over this? No. Because that wouldn't make any damn sense. I did this. So again, what I just did there with HBAR, same emotional approach that I've taken, I learned from XRP back in 2018. I did the same thing with Filecoin, another example. So you can see here, Filecoin, it was what? Right before the collapse, $6.26. It collapsed down to the low $4 region. I remember I was buying it around there. And then it did go lower, as you creeped into call it roughly mid-December, got down to $2.94. I never bought it that low. I mean, I'd have to go back to check, but I think the lowest I might have bought it, I don't know if it was like $4.10, probably somewhere around there. So was I scared or feeling, oh, I'm an idiot, I bought this stuff and it went down? No, I wasn't like that, because you can't time the market cycles. You can't time the bottoms. And you see what's happened since then. It's gone up dramatically. So it was $2.94, towards the end of December, $2.94. Within the last 24 hours, it's hit $9.41. So I didn't buy the bottom, and I don't give a damn. And I think that's the right, healthy mental approach to all this, because I don't control any of it. I just know that humans are going to continue to be ridiculous and volatile. So that's why when I'm talking about XRP, or I'm talking about HBAR, or I'm talking about Filecoin, it doesn't matter. The asset class in a general sense moves in tandem. And so fine. My Filecoin and HBAR has been outperforming my XRP over the last, call it couple months roughly. So what? So what? It doesn't matter. I'm happy that those other coins are going up. So happy I'm diversified. But that's also not an indication of what's going to result in me, taking in the most money. I don't know for sure. Maybe it's a coin that's not XRP. Maybe. But I don't know. I've got so much XRP. I don't know. Honestly, folks, I don't know. I'm excited to find out what's going to happen. But the entire freaking asset class, again, continues. And look, I've been in this over half a decade, and I thought it was silly back then. I think it's silly now. The entire asset class continues to move in tandem with Bitcoin doing what it's always done, leading the charge. Bitcoin is going to eventually hit six figures. And it's I don't know what the top for the next cycle will be, but eventually this is going to happen. And I'm happy for that. I'm pro Bitcoin. It's not a crypto I'm particularly excited about, from a technological perspective, or in terms of, financially what it's going to do, because in terms of the multiplier effect, it's nowhere near as exciting as, large cap coins in particular, and maybe some mid cap coins you could argue. But I'm still fond of it. I'm happy with it leading the charge, because that's rising tide lifts all boats. And my altcoins are going to, I believe, substantially outperform. So all this to say, in the end, when this happens, and the timing will be what it will be, I'm going to be Mr. Patient like I always have been, because this is what it takes to make life-changing wealth in crypto. This is that you have to have this level of mental fortitude to make it in this. And that's why my attitude is, after I buy something, I do precisely nothing, because data shows the people that do nothing are the people that make it. Unless there's some sort of weird instance where there's a hole in the code and it no longer works. Okay, fine. If something like that, okay, fine. I got it. Like Terra Luna collapse. I understand. There can be exceptions. I'm just speaking in generalities here. That's how I approach investing, just for the stock market too. That's what I think makes sense. Hey, how about an index fund? Boring. Nothing fun about it. Freaking works. Not complex, really not complex. Just a hands-off approach is really good when it comes to investing because, and why? Because you need to think long-term. And the day-to-day volatility is not, generally speaking, some sort of indicator that something is horrifically wrong if it's to the downside. And if it's to the upside, that's not going to happen forever either. But money's going to come in. And we are going to have clarity as XRP holders, for better or worse. I think it's going to be for better. I won't be surprised to see this year XRP rocket as a result. To what degree, I don't know. I mean, are we going to be so lucky as to have that initial burst effectively cause XRP to finally hit a new all-time high? And if it starts to go in that direction, will that be something that heats up the rest of crypto? I don't pretend to know, but isn't it exciting to know, like, these are the types of things we have to look forward to living through? These are historic moments. And to be living in 2023 at a time when almost no humans own any crypto, my gosh, it doesn't take much money coming in to get these incredible multiplier effects. So it's all coming. So whether we have, alt season at some point this year, maybe that's not likely, I don't know. Or if it's the next year or next year, it doesn't matter in the end. I'm getting mine. And that, for me to do, like I said, my strategy is to just do nothing to ensure that happens. Now take a look at this from my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. This is a chart which he titled Others, and it's a chart of every cryptocurrency that is not in the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. And check out what the Blockchain Backer said. Today, Others, the market cap of the cryptocurrency market excluding the top 10, has poked above the FTX collapse level from November of last year. Well, how about that? So while it was the end of the world, was that a good time to buy or a bad time to buy? Well, people sold me their fear. And I was happy to, help them to feel better because they thought the best thing for them was to get out of that position. I thought the best thing for me was to get into the position. So I was happy to purchase their fear. And, doubling, more than doubling my investment, which was, again, some of the largest cryptocurrency purchases I've made in my entire life. Feeling good about that and not beating myself up for not buying the bottom because I cannot do that. I'll never be able to do that, and it doesn't matter. And when XRP does blast off to a new all-time high, which I think is a virtual certainty, and I don't know that for sure, so again, I don't say this to be hypey, it's just what I firmly believe is the case. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm also not going to beat myself up for not being able to sell the top, even if I'm way off. As long as I get what I want out of this, that will be enough. And different people want to sell at different levels, but I also put a lot more money in than the typical person into XRP. And so I did that. So that's riskier for me up front, but I did that so that I don't need as high of a price level before I feel very happy exiting. I don't need a high price XRP. That's why I'd start selling around whether a small percent or $4 or $5. And then you start getting into 6, 7, 8 range. I'm probably largely exited by then, if not entirely. Maybe I still have a little bit at that point. But that's pretty much what I'm looking at here. And it's going to be a messy process because who knows? Maybe I overshoot and I'm not able to sell by the time the top happens if it doesn't go as high as I think or hope it might. And then I start selling after it starts to slump down to the upside from whatever the new all-time high would be. Okay, I'm not going to beat myself up. That's okay. Because it's still going to be life-changing wealth. So even if it's messy, and it will inevitably be messy, just be prepared for that. It's okay. It's messy dollar cost averaging as prices sink, and it's messy selling to the upside. It's just the nature of what this is. But it's also still a lot of fun, and it really is, like, to me, just the most exciting damn thing on the planet. So I'm glad I get to go on this incredible ride with all of you. It'd be a lot more boring and lonely if I were just doing this by myself. But we got the one of the biggest communities in all of crypto, and I still firmly argue absolutely the best. And we gonna get ours. So fine, we've gotten the shaft for the longest damn time, but we are going to get ours. So again, like I said when I started out the video, I've been holding XRP as it's been way, way, way down, and I've also held it as it's been way, way, way up, even when it was around way higher than it is now, $2 a couple years ago, I think it was April 2021. Okay. Whatever it takes, I'm here. I am the most patient, stubborn investor you will ever meet in your life. If everyone was like me, there would be no volatility and no one would invest in anything. So be glad that not everyone's like me. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.